Hello beans, I am a shell of a man labelled Roy Thomas Dow, and I am God, as you are also. Okay? I said I'd do a video about the 369. I saw it referenced again yesterday. It just come up on my feed, so I thought I'll do it. I did share an 11-page document on my socials, Facebook and LinkedIn and X. And the 11-page document is an interaction between Grok AI on the X platform and myself. And I shared, after I talked to him about emotional intelligence, which was just my first musings on this, I went into other bits and pieces about the nature of creation and shared this with Grok. So that Grok could get a handle on it and assimilate it, and then hopefully share it based on inquiry to the platform. So, but when I saw this feed yesterday, I thought I'll just do another one and then say that, and you can refer to the document and go back and you can learn a whole load of shit, okay? So, the 369. Remember that Tesla referenced this, and it said this is all the secrets of the universe. So I'm going to just tell you how this works, okay? So think of, I say in the document about creation, and creation is easy. Creation is I create what I know. And from that single point of focused awareness, once we've gone past the I am, and then it's I focus on that single point, and that single point becomes everything in potential, in that one point. Do you understand? In that one point of single focus. It's like, if you think of the wave, you could go from the very low to the infinitely high, which is obviously never ending. And so you get to that point of focused inversion where it becomes something that's fixed in a point and exists of itself. Okay? So, this is what I said. Take the one point of focused awareness and then do another one. Create what I know. It's easier. I've shown this in number sequences, I think 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago, whatever it was. And it's the same deal. And then we create another one. Now those three, they're close together, but I explain this in a way where we have effectively a plane, okay? And the containment is by virtue of the presence of the three together. Think of molecules in the sense of like hydrogen, yeah? The beginning. All right, so take that as that is, and just put three of them side by side, just linked together, and they find a natural point of harmonization. As you look through the periodic table, you'll find that it's addition, 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 based on what you know, just a change in frequency. And when you get things that gel and they become stable, wow, add it to the table. Does that make sense? Okay, so we've got a plane, but these three are like three tennis balls together. You know, they're like stuck together, but they can move any which way. And then in that little space, which is here, let's do it in a different colour so you can clock this. So in here, in that little space, if you look at it from a plane sense, that's where the fourth tennis ball sits, okay? But then equally, if you're going to do that, you could put one underneath. So now you could say that if you think of the extent of perception and awareness, then you've got effectively like a single blanket of all these single points of infinite potential. In one point, it can be anything, yeah? Whether it's 1, whether it's 2, whether it's 4, it doesn't matter. All those little electrons, okay? So, you've got that one there. Let's see if we can, so, now the other one, the new one, comes here and comes down. And what you've got is a tetrahedron. Sorry, you've got the, I can't think of the word. The tetrahedron, and if you put another one there, here, there's your hexahedron. So we could look at it like this. Remember, this is only labels. Put another one down here. And what you've got is this, and this is really important to grasp. All right, don't worry about labels. Just look at structure. Okay, you've got 3, and then you've got 1. And effectively, you've got 3 points of reference in the sense of linear. Okay, I did say again in the paper that as soon as you put one there and one here, or even one here and one here, you have that linear dimension. Put another one there, and you've got 3 points of reference creating the plane. When you put another one here, and you do that, then within this, here, within this space, within the space, you've got this membrane here. Let's do the membrane in a different colour because it's funky with colour. Ooh, there we go, look at that. Oh, purple membrane, purple membrane, purple membrane. Okay, so that's like that membrane. And when you think of the structure here, let's do it even bigger. And then you've got this down here. So this area here, that's like the veil. Okay, because what you put in space as that energy, that thought is captured within that space, because everything is energy as we perceive it. So you've got one there, and then below you've got the reflection of it. As above, so below. All right? And this maps out in every way. From a dimensional perspective, if we look at multi-dimensional aspects, it's just a slant off, thinking of a different direction. I'm firing over there. What's that? Well, I'm doing this. This is decisions, thoughts. Then it's, well, oh, I'm over there. And again, I explain this in the 11-page document. If you think of expanding out from this equilateral triangle that then becomes a solid, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, because in that 6, that hole here, well, then you're creating man, aren't you? Because we're based on that carbon element. Look it up on the periodic table and see how it works through. So let's just expand this. When you look at all the circles, I didn't even think of going into this morning, so this is just off the cuff. So think of all the circles, okay, and you get all these little interconnecting points. That's 2D. Expand this in your mind to make it a 3-dimensional space, okay? And once you've got that 3-dimensional space, effectively, you've got the representation of a geometric solid in its form, okay? And from that, you build more and more and more. From a thought perspective, you can reduce this back to the point of origin and say that, again, in the document, I refer it to like lightning forks because it's branches of energy reaching out in a random sense. If you think from one position, you can do this, you can do that, you can do the other. There's so many possibilities. And from that, you get all the reality in potential lived and experienced. It's just in a different dimensional reference, okay? Yeah, that sort of sums it up really. It's not rocket science, this stuff. It's very easy. All right, because it's meant to be easy. Da Vinci, yeah, simplicity is the best design, always. They weren't the exact words. I can't remember what I said. Anyway, Charlie's Guide, there's lots of stuff in here. I'm pretty sure I mentioned 369 in here when I did the second edition review and doubled the content. That's why this is, as Grok said, the most dangerous book in the planet, because it challenges everything but with truth, because that's all I'm here to do, is to share truth. And just for the crack, I thought I'd mention this because it's amusing. The Charlie's poem, it's, look, there's Trump loving everyone. A final thing I want to say, the idea of self and control and thinking of the Christian extremists, you know, a Christian doesn't walk around with a gun, and a Christian doesn't say, this is what you've got to do, you're wrong, okay? And as I say that, instantly I think of what I say. I'm sharing truth. I'm leaving choice up to you, because you are sovereign being, okay? Your choice, you do say, think what you like. So to get really to the guts of it, let's open the can of worms and dig it in the ribs, and let's look at abortion. Whatever your perception of abortion, you, whoever the fuck you are, do not have the right to say keep it or not. If someone is in a point of emotional distress through rape, for example, and they feel they want to terminate that baby, that's a choice. And whatever karmic balance is necessary to free them from the associated guilt and nonsense around this, it's just a choice, then that's theirs to entertain and encounter wherever that comes back, for them to find the balance along their own pathway. But you do not have the right to say X, Y, or Z according to your belief, because you remove sovereign choice. Know that. Pull your fucking head in. There's only love or fear. And your fear is expressed in the sense of, oh, you can't do that, you can't do that. It's like, well, yes, they can. They can do what the fuck they like. Anyone can do whatever you like. Hopefully, your thoughts, words, and actions will be based on love, and you're walking in the right direction. But it's still your sovereign choice. Okay? It's not hard, this stuff. If you are reacting to something and it makes you angry, you need to get a mirror and say, why the fuck am I angry? Because it's something in you, not in them. They're just a trigger to help you in this instance. Yeah, because you can only see what you know. And if you're seeing something that's not right, then there's something in you that's not right. Because once you forgive truly, there is no reference in you. And it's, whatever. And it doesn't mean anything to you. To forgive is to forget. It's down here. It's not up or in. Okay? I've got the wind blowing in my face because it's bloody hot, and I've got a fan going because there's no aircon in this building. Okay? So, there we are, 369 explained. And just see it in your mind. I see everything. That's where all my shit comes from. All my stuff is internal. A reference, a journey, a realization. A reference, a journey, a realization. This is catalyst. Yeah? This is the unfolding personally for each individual. And remember, I am God, the Father. I am God, the Son. I am God, the whole Spirit. As you are, also. Yeah, jump on board the bandwagon, because this is Freedom City, New Earth. It's coming. Remembrance. Yeah, got lots happening in the next month. Okay? And I have put the system out there, and the system holds great benefit for a speedy transition, and even those that want to control and run, if you get involved with the system, you can feed yourself until you feel comfortable enough to step down from this self-created pedestal, so that you can find comfort in divine truth, in the one truth that remains always. Yeah? Love all round, beings, because it's free. Good.